to another episode in this fascinating journey we are taking you on. We're inviting you to get to meet the nominees for the Rex Karmaveer Medal, which is a special category within the Golden Door Awards, which, as you know, if you have been watching the previous shows, are the first international Writers' Awards for truth and integrity of the written word. So today with me, I have a very special guest. So hello, Harry Toy. Thank you so much for joining us
Hi.
today.
Yeah, and thanks, Melanie, for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm really interested in our audience being able to get to know the work and a bit about your life, so they can get to understand a bit more that inspiration and the whole reason you submitted your work to the Rex Karmaveer Medal and why you're nominated. So can you share with us who you are and what you do?
Well, my job currently is the Dean of Research and Development in an education company. Uh, Previous to that, I ran an education company doing research and development, and I sold that business to this much larger group, and so I took on this role. So in my current job, I look after curriculum and research and development in 3 countries: in Singapore, in Australia, as well as in China. In all these 3 countries, we have schools, and so that's my job at the moment.
Right, and that's a fascinating job. Anything related to education, it's so rewarding and such a responsibility on the other hand.
Yes, exciting and interesting as well, because we deal with brains with and a lot of truth as well, because we have to find out what's the best way to educate, what is the best content to deliver, and that keeps changing over the years.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So now, can you tell us a bit about the written word work you were nominated for the Golden Door Rex Karmaveer Medal, and what is the inspiration behind that written work?
Sure, it's my pleasure to share that. The book that was submitted was a book called Think to Thrive. And the subtitle of the book is called Re-Engineering Your Mind for Growth. And this book is really a little bit like a pattern for thinking in terms of transitioning from different times of your life, or when you meet a problem, or when you are entering a very complex or complicated kind of situation in your life. And so the motivation to do that was actually born out of the many years of working with people. Because in my work, I train companies, as well as I train teachers, and I train students. We have a division that actually does corporate training, and I work with a lot of companies across the years. Sometimes just working on problem solving, sometimes on team leadership, and sometimes on creativity, as well as critical thinking. And so, over the years, as I come across some information, as I work with people, as I consult for them, I realized that there is a pattern of thinking. And my work is actually very much influenced by 2 or 3 people, which I will share with you. One of them is Professor Arthur Costa, who is a professor of thinking at the California State University. And the other person that influenced me a lot is the late Tony Buzan, who wrote the book on mind mapping and memory and speed reading and about the brain. And the other person that influenced me a lot is a person called Brenton Scherer, who did research under the famous professor Howard Gardner on multiple intelligences. So over the years, apart from these 3 persons, of course, I've met a lot more authors, thought leaders, and as I work with them, as well as working with people in the companies, many of them are corporate leaders, the CEOs, I began to see a pattern, a kind of pattern of thinking that I thought would be useful if I could make it my own. And so that's what I did. And then over time, I realized it worked for me. And of course, all these are backed with a lot of research later on. And then I decided, hey, why don't I put them into a book that I could share. Because as I work with people, I realize that they are searching. They're always searching for a better way of thinking, a better way of problem solving, a better way of of parenting, a better way of teaching. And there is a better way. It's just that many of us, especially in the internet world, we do read a lot of stuff. Some are true and some are not very true. Some are maybe true maybe in a very narrow sense, in a very narrow field, but yet people take it and run away with it, and run with it actually, and sometimes running in the wrong direction. And so I decided that, hey, perhaps it is quite timely for me to put together something which I believe is the truth and that helped me, and that perhaps it can help other people.
That's amazing. It's such a fascinating field of study. And, our brains, our minds are such a powerful tool when we use it um, to the maximum, and so often we don't, because we probably don't know the pattern and we don't know how to do it. So that's
Exactly.
really interesting. Wonderful. So now, about the medals. The medals are for writers who are champions for change. And so it's
Mm.
not just a writing award, which it is, but there's so much more behind those medals. So what would receiving one of these prestigious medals mean to you?
Well, firstly, I didn't expect to be awarded the medal. I thought, just go about my daily work. Done the book, and some of my friends enjoyed it, and some people who read it came back and told me that they liked it, and I thought, well, that's it. Until the email came, and I said, oh wow, that's interesting. and winning having a medal, in a way affirmed in me that I'm doing the right thing, and that encourages me to continue doing what I'm doing, which is to search for what is true, what works, and to disseminate that in as many ways as I can. So I do write short articles for companies. I publish some information over the web, and also through clients who request for such kind of short articles. And I decided that that's their value in that. There's a lot of value in that, to write what is true, and to really um, to take the extra step actually to make sure that what I'm writing, what I'm saying, what I am spreading is it's founded on good theory, it's founded on good practice, it's evidence based, and that it does help people. So that's really an encouragement to me. Of course, it will encourage me to write some more actually.
We hope so. Absolutely. And as you say, it does take that extra step, that extra effort. But you also have that responsibility inside of you. You need to, really publish and write something that's truth based. I mean, we should all be doing that. And unfortunately, that's not mainstream, as you
Yep.
know very well. So
Mm.
I'm really happy and grateful at the same time that there's people like you who are making their life work based on truth, on any type of information they share. So that's really amazing. I thank you for it. Okay, so it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today on Expert Channel TV. And we hope to see you soon. If you're one of the winners, we are inviting nominees back again once the gala is over. We still have to wait a bit for that.
Right. Thanks, Melanie. Thanks again for this interview and for allowing me to share my thoughts on this.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing them. And we are sure the audience found it very inspiring. And to our audience, if you haven't watched the previous interviews, I invite you to binge watch right now, because these people are truly outstanding. They are changing the world with the work they're bringing to the world. And they're making a point of sharing truth and integrity, which is key. As a human movement, we need to embrace truth and integrity in our day to day. So everybody, thank you so much for joining, and I will be seeing you very, very soon.